Good morning, good evening, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys coming back in. The car is currently sitting in a very awkward position, as you can see here in the garage. Reason being, I posted a video a couple weeks ago about things that are broken and don't work anymore in my car, and one of those things was the driver's side window would no longer go up. This past Saturday, my dad and I worked on it. My dad and I just spent about an hour and a half working on this window panel here, and as you can see, got it to go up and down again, which is super exciting because that was one of the things that was not fixed on my car, or that was currently broken, but now is working, and love it. And as you saw there actually wasn't anything wrong with the motor. When I had my car repainted a few years ago, I bought both window motors for the car. But whenever the shop had the door panel apart, they said the window motor was actually fine. They just cleaned it and reused it. I probably would have preferred that they just replaced it since they had it apart, but it is what it is. It was 5 years ago. But the motor I did have left, I thought was for the driver's side, but it ended up being for the passenger side. So the motor I did have wasn't even good for this side anyways. But once we had the motor out of the car, we turned the key switch on, plugged the harness back in, and the motor worked fine. So we're like, what in the world's going on? Well, what ended up happening was, since I never have the windows up in this thing, I guess since the window is down for so long, that the track actually got seized tight and the motor was no longer strong enough to lift it up. So if you look over here, down inside this door, it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, it's real hard to see. The motor's that little bit of a silver thing you see there, but the whole entire track in here was just kind of seized up and it would no longer lift the door. So knowing that, if we would have just took off the panel and just kind of sprayed with like PB Blaster or WD-40 or some lubrication grease or something, we probably could have just lifted it by hand and got it to work, but we didn't know that. We thought it was the motor. But that part of the car is fixed. Well, we know what it is. The only thing we gotta do now is get this panel back on the car, and that's also a part of it as well. And once we get those things back on the car, then one of the things that was wrong with the car will be fixed. So we're gonna take care of that right now. Voila! Looks like we got ourselves a door panel back on, which is excellent news, extremely exciting. And everything works, window goes up and down. Next thing I gotta do is, I'm actually taking this to work tomorrow because a guy that works at my the place I work is coming up here from Tulsa, Oklahoma to be at our plant this week for some training and stuff. And he's a huge Corvette enthusiast. He's actually getting ready to buy a brand new Z06, which I am extremely jealous of. But he told me that he would like to see my car. Since he lives in Tulsa, I never get to see him, especially in my car, because when I go down I fly. But I'm going to take this to work tomorrow to show him, so I need to get the roof on, because tomorrow morning might be a little chilly, like 30 degrees chilly, and I do not want to drive with the roof off when it's 30 degrees. So let's get the roof on right now. traffic in front of me is a little congested. But anyways, I am taking my car to work today because have a chance to go out and actually drive it. But I told him that since the rain forecast has changed for today, it was supposed to rain, but now it's changed to not raining at all, that I would bring it again today and hopefully get a chance to take it for a ride. But it's a beautiful morning. It's currently 43 degrees outside, my kind of weather, and the car is just running amazing, and I couldn't be happier. Well, it's always a glorious day when you get to take your Corvette to work. I don't care if you have a C1, C2, C7, it does not matter. All the way up, doesn't matter what generation you're driving. It seems like whenever I drive my Corvette, I feel like I am invincible, and it's amazing how it makes you feel. It just, I don't know, I can't even put it into words how it makes me feel. That's why I cannot imagine driving a C7, how that would make you feel, because I know how my C4 makes me feel, like a kid in the candy store. And the C7s, I have nothing to say, because I have never driven one. I have sat in one, thanks to that lady at the car show. The Corvette ran great today, as usual. It's a very good running car, I have no complaints at all. I am looking forward to getting my new tires next year, because the tires are just, you can tell they're old. They definitely need to be replaced. But it's so weird driving with the top on, because like I told you guys before, I never drive with the top on because I always drive it with the top off. But we've had an exceptionally colder fall this year than usual. Usually it's not this cold. Like it's been in the 30s in the mornings for a while, and that's very rare for October. So driving with the top on was so weird, because like I could hear some road noise. I could hear, I couldn't hear like anything besides road noise, and just sitting in the car in peace and quiet. It was just really strange to do that. Corvette is back in its enclosure at home. I am planning on driving it a little bit more this year.